Anta, pastem tikasun. Today I'm going to share with you a legend that was shared with me kayas long ago by one of my kihtihiak, my elders. And this story is all about Miqua, Tipi. Because we are told that kayas long ago, it was Isquiwak, or that was their job to take care of moving the Miqua, the Tipi, packing everything up and taking the camp, the Tipi from camp to camp. But something changed long ago, and now, in today's world, it's now the men's job to take the Tipi down, take it to the next camp and set it up, because it's a lot of work. And it was because of something that happened long ago. Because we are told in legend that Kayas, Trickster, used to travel around all over. And he went from tribe to tribe, camp to camp. Finally, he came across this one camp where there was this old Bokum, this old grandmother. She was by herself. All her family had gone and passed on, and she was left alone. But still, this Bokum, because it was Isquiwak's job in those days to move the camp, she would still move the camp. And Trickster didn't like this. He thought, well, I'm going to stay with this Bokum because she's left alone. I'm going to take care of her and hunt for her and stay with her for as long as I can. So this went on for a while. He stayed with this Kokum. He called her Nokum, his grandmother, and he'd hunt for her and gather wood. And when it came time finally in the fall for them to move their camp, he told his Kokum, it's a lot of work. You're by yourself. I'll move the camp. I'll take the Tipi down, Miqua, and I'll take care of that. You shouldn't have to. And his Kokum told him, no, it's Isquiwak's job, women's job to do that. You can't do that. I do that. Men, you guys hunt and get wood, and you guys do that job. It's our job as women to move the Tipi, Miqua. Trickster didn't like this, and he said, okay, well, if you can barely walk, but I'll go hunting. Trickster went hunting, and he went up onto the fall camp, and he thought, well, my Kokum's not going to be there. She's so old, she can barely move. But I'll go wait for her. To his surprise, he showed up at the fall camp, and his Kokum was there. Tipi was set up, and everything was there, set up, ready to, supper was being made. And he couldn't believe it. He thought, how could this little old lady take down these poles and move the Tipi? That's a lot of work. He was just amazed. He still didn't like it, though, that she had to do all this work by herself. So after not too long, it was time for them to move to their winter camp. And he told his Kokum, he said, no, we're going to have to move tomorrow. He said, but I'm going to move the Tipi. I don't want you can barely walk, your bones are bad, you're bent over, and you can't do it by yourself. I'm going to move the Tipi. Again, his Kokum said, no, the Isquiwak have to do this. That's our job. Look after Miqua and move it to the next camp. Oh, Trickster didn't like this, but his Kokum was getting angry at him. And he said, okay, it's your job. I'll let you do it. Next morning, they were getting ready to leave, and she said, okay, Trickster, you go on, you go hunting, and I'll meet you at the winter camp. I'll bring the teepee. Trickster didn't like it though. He thought, I'm going to see you. How does this old woman, how does this little old lady barely walk and move this mikwa? So Trickster went and he hid behind the willows and he watched. He said, I'm going to see how she does this, how she manages to do this. This old woman. All of a sudden, after not too long, he could hear drum beating. No. And he could hear his kokum singing. Hey. And to his surprise, coming down the trail, his little old kokum was walking with her drum, singing this song. Hey. And as she sang, he looked. To his shock, the teepee was dancing behind her to the beat of the drum, all still put together. Mikwap was just dancing along, following his kukum. And as she sang, it would dance with the drum beat and followed her. And they followed her right to the next camp. Soon as they got to the winter camp, Trickster come running out and he was just, oh, Kokum, I saw you. Oh, Nokum, I saw you. What you were doing, I know the song. Said, so next time you won't have to move the teepee. I can move the mikwap now. From now on, I know the song. Oh, his Kokum was so angry. Trickster, why did you do that? Why were you watching and listening? This job, this gift was given to Esquiwak from Kisamantu. And now you ruined that because no man is supposed to hear that song or see that. So now, from this day forward, Esquiwak women, we lose that gift because no man can watch that. So from this day forward, now it's the man's job to take the teepee down and move the camp. Because from this day forward, never again will Mikwap dance or Esquiwak. So now it's the men have to move it now. Trickster said, but I know the song. And she said, but it will never work for a man. It was a gift to Esquiwak. So as Nihewak were told that even to this day, still the man's job to take the poles down and move the teepee and set it up, all because of that trickster all those years ago being nosy and watching things he wasn't supposed to. So now you know the story of Mikwa and why we as men now have to set up the teepee. Simaga.